this morning. Okay, so once again, you are all welcome to the live market analysis. I am CJ, and I'm going to be taking you through the first session of this analysis this morning, where we're going to be looking at GBP, USD, Euro USD, and of course, the dollar index. We're going to be starting with the dollar index, and then we'll be looking at GBP, USD, and Euro USD as we progress during the session of this live market analysis. Okay. If you have any question during this period, feel free to just drop questions in the various platforms that you're watching from. If you're watching from YouTube, if you're watching from Instagram, even from those on Telegram, make sure you send your message or your concerns or any questions that you have in the chat box below. So let's dive straight into the chart for today. I would want to start with the weekly time frame so that it's going to give me perspective on what I'm looking out for. So starting off with the weekly time frame of the dollar index, because when we get a clear direction on the dollar index, which is like an aggregate of all dollar related currency, whether it is quoted or based, it gives us clarity on what is going to be happening on individual dollar related currencies. Now, if you look at the dollar index closely, I noticed something last week. We saw a stop hunt play somewhere around here last week, and price didn't close quite below this level, so it just grabbed liquidity, traded into this fair value gap right here. You can see the fair value gap right below this level, and afterwards it's continued trading to the upside. All right, so this is the fair value gap right here. The price traded into the fair value gap and then gave us a kind of a rejection from that level. So we're expecting that rejection to continue, maybe somewhere to a midpoint, and I'm looking at somewhere around here. If we're going to see a buy of the dollar, I'm targeting somewhere around here as my first price point, because there's a very big breaker block right there. We're expecting that we're going to see price trade all the way to this level and then start slamming to the downside afterwards. So this is my expectation on the dollar index based off the weekly time frame. Okay, now let's switch to the daily time frame and see what we have. Now, if you look at the daily time frame of the dollar index, you will also see that we're getting quite some reactions from this current place right here. So I want to see the dollar index trade a little above into this space right here, and then give me a quick sell-off to the downside. So I'll just want to make some adjustments to the markups that I have. If for any reason the dollar index finds its way all the way up here, then we would be expecting a reversal from here. But if not, this is my main point of interest for the dollar index buy. Okay. So mark it out with a rectangle so it shows the whole region we're expecting. So I'm expecting price to get to this region right here, and then I sell off from that level to the downside afterwards. Okay, so this is what I'm expecting on the daily time frame of the dollar index. All right, so that is that for the Dixie, and then we'll be looking at the 4-hour time frame of the dollar index. Now, if you look at the 4-hour time frame, you would also see that price started gathering momentum up until, I think, on Friday, where we saw a shift, and then it looks like it's going to be continuing. Now, one thing I know about retracement is that it's usually quick. So when we start seeing that there's no speed or there's no agility with this retracement, it shows us something that this retracement will not come as fast as we want. So we need to be more patient with it, because it's showing us some signs that the sell trend may still be enforced. The general opinion or the general sentiment of the dollar could still be for a sell. So with that, we'll be careful with our buys as we're looking forward to taking them this week. So for the buy on the 4-hour time frame, we're looking set, and I'll be looking out for buy opportunities on the dollar index, buying it all the way to this level right here, and then selling afterwards. So this is the path I'm expecting the dollar index to travel all the way here, and then slamming back to the downside. Okay, so let's see how this plays out for this week. And now, talking about what we're looking out for the week, let's also check out what implication this has on Euro USD and on GBP USD. Now, on Euro USD, if you look very clearly, you see that price also did similar thing to what the dollar index did on the weekly time frame. Okay, on the Euro USD, just came above this level right here on the weekly, and then grab liquidity, but didn't close above it, then started selling to the downside. This is also a sign that all that happened here was just a liquidity grab and price could continue trading to the downside. All right, so we're getting complaints about audio. Please let me know if you can hear me. All right. So the audio is good and we're good to go. So if you're having any issues with the audio, please check your network and reconnect again because this is a live session. So check your network and reconnect again and you should be able to hear. All right, so that is by the way. Now back to the analysis, looking at the Euro USD on the weekly time frame. We said we wanted to see it trade from here and then sell off to the downside afterwards. So it has gotten to this level. It took a little liquidity, grab liquidity above here. And then now we are expecting it to trade at least to the downside. And our target would be one of these areas here where we saw this large fair value gap of 2 weeks ago, right? So I'm expecting to see price trade into this level here and then trade back to the upside. So on the weekly time frame, this is my expectation, a retracement, okay, back here and then above. So I would not want to start drawing out using my retracement to start marking out retracement point until I see a clear break of structure on the 4-hour or on the 1-hour time frame. This is one thing that I've been using to be able to gauge retracements for the past couple of years, and it has been helping me. So instead of just drawing retracement to when you believe or when you feel that price is going to start trading to the downside, you have to wait for that confirmation of the retracement. On the lower time frame, we need to see sales playing out. All right, we need to see price selling on the lower time frame, and then we'll start taking retracements to the downside. Okay, now talking about lower time frame, let's move a little lower to the daily time frame. Now, on the daily time frame, we saw 2 days of sales from Wednesday to Thursday. On Friday, we saw quick buyback, but this Monday, the market has opened and we're seeing that it is pushing forward it's pushing downward, and we're expecting that to continue and sell off all the way to this level. So if you also noticed right here, when price traded to this other block that we marked last week, price didn't close above it. It just wicked above it and then started selling. This is a sign that all that happened there was just stop hunt, not a clear break of this particular sell structure. So we're expecting more sales to happen on Euro USD to the downside. So you can see from the weekly and the daily time frame, we are very bearish on Euro USD. Now on the 4-hour time frame also, we're expecting that bearishness to continue on the 4-hour time frame. And that should start from somewhere around here. Okay, sorry, it's not. Okay, so this is the 4-hour time frame. If you look back at the 4-hour time frame, you would also see that price didn't close above that area, still on the 4-hour time frame. So this is showing no sign of bearishness. Okay, there was no momentum to break that structure and continue buying. So we're expecting further sales on Euro USD to the downside. So right from where price is, if I'm looking at it from the 1-hour time frame and from the lower time frame, anything lower than 1-hour time frame is a lower time frame. So from this time frame and lower, I'm expecting to see price trade to the downside. Now, if you see the 15-minute time frame on Euro USD, right from the close of last week into the open of this week, you notice that price has just been stuck within a range after this push to the upside. Currently, if you remember what I've been teaching us in a couple of weeks now, I've been teaching you about the power of 3 concepts, where we would see a consolidation like this. Okay, when we see a consolidation like this, price ranging within a particular price point, this is the upper range, this is the lower range. Now, after that consolidation, I told you that sometimes you would see a manipulation to the upside. And after the manipulation, we're going to see price distributing to the opposite direction. So you can see how that is playing out this morning. Price was consolidating right here. And after the consolidation, there was a quick wick to take out all the early sellers, and now price is selling to the downside. This is giving me a confirmation of Euro USD. So I'm looking for a Euro USD sell this morning. That is my bias for Euro USD. Anywhere from here, you can put your take profits way below and then your stop loss for about 20 pips above this high, that take out all these levels here. And then when you're looking to sell, we're looking to sell all the way to, let's switch to the 1 hour time frame and see exit points. So we're looking to sell all the way here. Okay, so you can exit slowly or you can exit in different bits while price is going to the downside. This is going to be a very interesting trade should it play out accordingly, because this is like 1:11, and I enjoy this kind of trades because it's going to give you that peace of mind to do other things while you are also in a trade. So if we get an entry from where price currently is, we're looking to sell Euro USD all the way down. Now, some of you might be wondering, since I'm expecting price to get to this particular place here, why am I not putting my take profit there? I usually put my take profit a few pips shy from my exit points, because I do not like those occasions where market is going to get close to the take profit and then it's going to start dancing, or because of spread, you will not exit the trade. So I would rather take it a little above the exit point, so that when it gets here, I'm now emotionally ready for a new trade and I'll be waiting, instead of being stuck in an old trade and I'll not be able to plan for the new trade. Okay, so this helps my psychology a lot, and I think you should also try to apply some of these tricks and help your psychology as well. Okay, so Euro USD, we're looking for a sell from where price currently is all the way to 1.06441, and we're taking our stop loss somewhere above to around 1.08955. So this is a live trade call, and I hope you all are able to take advantage of it accordingly. Okay, so that is that for Euro USD. Now let's look at GBP USD, starting off with the weekly time frame, of course. On the weekly time frame of GBP USD, GBP USD is doing quite something different from, it's acting quite different from what Euro USD and the dollar index had done. Okay, so looking at GBP USD, if you look at this whole range, you see that price has quite retraced a lot. Okay, it has even broken structure on the weekly time frame, because you can consider this as a weekly structure, except you switch to the monthly time frame, then it's not going to be considered as a structure but as a clear swing. Okay, from the top to the bottom. Now on the weekly time frame, GBP USD has broken this level. Now we're expecting to see it give us some retracement before it continues buying to the upside. Okay, so if you look at the daily time frame, so looking at the daily time frame on GBP USD, we're expecting it to continue selling to the downside to give us some little retracement before continuing its journey to the upside, if it's going to continue buying. So the daily time frame is also showing us that GBP USD might be ready for a new round of sales. Okay, now let's look at the 4-hour time frame. Now, on the 4-hour time frame, you can see that GBP USD has lost momentum. Look at the kind of candles that have been formed on the 4-hour time frame. It's not candles that are showing us that there's enough momentum to sell to the downside. So I'll be very careful with my GBP USD sell, okay, especially for the first half of this week, because later this week on Wednesday, we're expecting the Fed fund rate, which is the interest rate for the US. We still expect it to be flat, but at least towards that period, we will see some movement in the market in anticipation for the Fed fund rate. So the current interest rate is around 4.5, same thing as that of the Great Britain, still 4.5. We're expecting both of them to come out flat, because interest rate is not the main focus of these two economies at this moment. So most likely they're going to keep interest rates flat at 4.50% without any cuts in the interest rate. So that being said, we're still expecting that GBP USD may sell further to the downside. Same thing for Euro USD. We're expecting it to retrace a little based off technical analysis alone. So we're expecting a sell-off on GBP USD, but it has not shown us any sign of momentum yet. And instead, it is building liquidity to the upside. You can see the liquidity being built. If you switch to the 1-hour time frame, it becomes more clear. You can see on, yeah, so this is the 1-hour time frame. You can see that liquidity is being built on GBP USD. It may take one more sweep at this liquidity before selling to the downside, but if it doesn't do so, then we'll just expect a sell-off of GBP USD from here all the way to the downside. And then where are we expecting our sell on GBP USD to get to? If you look at the daily time frame, if that sell should start playing out, then at least 50% of that sell momentum, or that this buy swing is going to be somewhere around here. So we're expecting a GBP USD sell all the way to this level right here, 1.2800. 1.2800 is our expectation for a GBP USD sell. Okay, so when that starts playing out, we'll be showing you our analysis and then showing you how we're going to take advantage of it. So from where GBP USD is, basically for those who like to use trend line, this is like a good place to start selling GBP USD from. Okay, and one thing I would usually advise people to wait for is your entry signature. Once you see your entry signature in this kind of market, then it's going to be good to take it to that direction. But we're not expecting a smooth start of the trade until we start seeing price moving in this direction, and we're seeing volume candles also moving in the direction that we've analyzed. So overall, I'm expecting a GBP USD sell. I'm expecting a Euro USD sell, but I've positioned myself well for the Euro USD sell compared to that of GBP, because if you're looking at it based on sentiment, GBP is still looking a little stronger than Euro USD at this moment. So I think the market is going to favor Euro USD sell compared to a GBP USD sell. So based off sentiment, both of them are a sell, but Euro USD is the weaker amongst the two, and I'll be looking to take my sell on Euro USD. Okay, so that is my analysis for today. That's my bias on GBP USD. That is my bias also on Euro USD. A favored sell for both, but especially for Euro USD. Okay, so that will be all for now. Want to meet again by 2:30, 2 p.m. later today to do a quick recap on this analysis, which is GMT, all times are in GMT +1. All right. Okay. So thank you for joining. Right now, we're going to be switching and continuing our analysis, looking at gold against the dollar, the yen basket, GBP JPY, and Euro JPY to continue the analysis for today. Okay. So that will be all for now. And in about
Yeah, good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Market Caller brought to you by the Value Flow Trading team. All right, so that was a very great analysis from CJ. So this morning we are going to be going into the analysis of the precious metal, and from there we are going to move to Japan to see what is going on the yen basket, and that is going to give us a very clear outlook of what we should expect on the yen correlated. Yes. So just let me know in the chat box if you can hear me loud and clear. All right. So this morning we are going to be starting with the precious metal, particularly from the higher time frame. So last week it happens to be a very bullish week for the precious metal, as it's finally achieved its all-time target, which is the 3,000 level. So the precious metal traded into the 3,000 level last week, as you can see. On the weekly time frame. And remember, on Friday during the London session analysis on Friday, we were expecting to trade into that level before we begin to see some level of short again to the downside. Now, the short we are expecting is not a long-term short, it's just more of a pullback, and we are going to see that much clearly on the daily time frame. Now, for the daily time frame, what we are going to see on the daily time frame is this. And if you can see the candlestick pattern forming on the daily time frame, it's showing us that after the precious metal traded into the 3,000 level, which is where we've been expecting for quite some months now. And now we can see the candlestick pattern showing that the buyers, more of the buyers have taken their profits. And now we expect, the price to be repriced, gold to be repriced to some level of discount before it continues this bullish trend if it is going to. All right. And right now, if you can see clearly, we have more like a flip zone at this particular point here. So we expect the precious metal to short a bit to this level. However, what is the now trade that we want to see happen? So right now we are seeing is consolidating after the take profit at the 3,000 level and price coming, consolidating within this range. However, today we are expecting that first price should take out liquidity around this side. It should trade again more like a retest. Then we begin to see the sell to the downside. Now, the sell, we are expecting the first leg to just come to this flip zone here, but just below the flip zone, we are seeing for our order blocks, so there is high tendency. We just see more like price traded to this zone, then we see a week, probably news events coming in this week. We are going to see more like a week, tap into this level, this order block, then we see the move to the upside again. So that is the outlook on the 4-hour time frame. However, if you look at the 1-hour time frame, you are going to observe that price is still very much in a range zone. And just as we've always known how price reacts, particularly today being Monday, there are things we may likely see in the market, which are one, we've seen how that price attained its goal, then consolidating. So what we want to expect more is another pullback, more like a retest of that zone, which is the 3,000 level before the push to the downside. However, if we see a break of this particular level here, just as we have here, if we see a break of this low before price, trade into this level again, if you see the break of this low, then what we are going to do is we are going to wait for price, to push. If we see the break of this place, what I mean is this, when we see this break, then we are going to expect price to trade back into this zone again, which is the flip zone, and more of the support that should turn resistance. And we are going to look out for any reference points. Right now, we are seeing one forming, which is this 1-hour order block that is forming. The candle, the sell candle has not really closed, so we don't know what is going to be of it at the end of this current hour. But if it closes as an order block, then we're going to see something like this, and we are going to sell all the way to the 4-hour order block before we now begin to push to the upside. So that is the second scenario we are looking out for the precious metal. However, the overall move is still, since we've not seen the break of this level, then we still expect price to retrace some level of retracement to the 3,000 level. Then we are going to see a clear sell to the 4-hour order block. Now on the 15 minutes, which is the now trade, what are we seeing? Just as our CJ analyzed what is going on the dollar pair, so he's still telling us that yes, although we've seen buyers take profit, however, price is still more in a consolidation level. So we are not going to take any trade right now. Instead, let's see if this low is going to be broken to the downside. Then when we see the retracement, we can easily short. Or price is going to trade all the way more of the retracement to come and take out liquidity at this level here. And the reason why we are looking at that is because you can see we've seen the sweep of liquidity. This is a typical bust strategy, just that this low is not really very clear to the downside. However, we can say price, stylishly closes below that low. So we can still call it, but it's not a plus trade, a high probability trade. However, what we are expecting is let price retrace back to that level. If price takes out liquidity around this level here, around the 2999 spot 49, which is also around the 3,000 level, and we begin to see sell signature, sell entry signature for a sell, then we can easily short all the way to the 4-hour order block. So that is the outlook for the precious metal today. All right. So let's quickly move forward to see what is going on the yen basket. All right. So for the yen basket, on the daily time frame, we are going to observe uh, that the daily time frame, what we have majorly there is a long consolidation, and we've been expecting that the yen basket should trade into this daily fair value gap. And just as we said some few weeks ago, sometimes early this month, how that price came and stylishly did as if it wants to trade into that reference point, but returns back into that trade. So we are still going to see a very clear move back into that level. However, I'm seeing something here, which is this, daily order block, and that is the next place of price reaction. But we are still after price trade into this reference point here. We want to see it now come and trade into this daily order block before we continue the move to the upside. Now, if you check it on the 4-hour time frame, it becomes much more clearer. And just as the CJ have said, we are expecting most of the bank interest rate decisions to happen this week. So if we are going to see for the yen basket, it's happening tomorrow, very early tomorrow morning during the Asian session, we are going to get the yen, interest rate. And speculations have been happening that there's high tendency the yen, Japan, increase their interest rate again. Although they've increased it sometimes last year, and now we are on 50 basis points, 0.5 basis points. Now we don't know what the next move is going to be. But right now, where we are seeing, I'm expecting that when the interest rate comes out, it's going to give us a very clear, move that we can follow. But just as I've said, we are expecting price to stick trade into the daily fair value gap, then we can easily follow it through to the downside. First, to clear liquidity around here, then trade into the daily order block, just as we mark inside here before the move. All right, so that is for the yen basket. If that is what we're expecting to see on the yen basket, what should we now expect on the other yen correlated pairs? All right, so for GBP, JPY, we are going to observe that what we are looking at, remember last week, Monday, we expected to trade a little bit to the downside right from this place, but it did not get to our clear POI. However, we see the move all the way to the upside, moving to the upside. So now what exactly do we expect to see moving forward this week? Now, if the yen basket is going to go and clear liquidity just as we've seen on the 4-hour time frame before it go to trade into the daily fair value gap, then we expect that the GBP JPY should a bit, ride up all the way to this level and come and clear liquidity somewhere around this place here. Somewhere here, liquidity has to be taken out here because I'm seeing more reference points inside of this zone. All right, you can see the fair value gap there. And this look more like a flip zone already, of which price once tested. So we expect more of it, or price coming all the way into this fair value that we have here. But remember, the move we are expecting on the yen basket is just a little bit retracement to the downside before going to the daily time frame and the final move down. So what we should expect on the yen basket, the GBP JPY on the 4-hour should be something like this. Price coming all the way to take out liquidity at this top. You can see like more triple top here, 1, 2, 3. So we want to see price come all the way to take out this top here. After taking out this top, then trade into somewhere here, then we begin to see the move back to the downside. This leg we are expecting here is when the yen basket is trading into the daily fair value gap. You can see it here fairly good. This is it on this level here. So I'm expecting that price to come and take out liquidity on the 4-hour time frame here. So we are still looking more for the long opportunity for GBP/JPY before the short. Now, for us to start shorting, we must have seen that the yen basket has traded into its own daily fair value gap. All right, so that is it. As the yen basket is trading into its daily fair value gap, then we'll be shorting GBP JPY. But right now, we are still expecting the yen basket to go and clear its low before the move for the GBP/JPY. Now let's quickly look at what is the now trade for GBP/JPY. For GBP/JPY, we've seen if you are looking out for a clear bust pattern and more of what we are expecting here, we've seen that this level, this low here has been broken to the downside, and price came all the way, tapped into liquidity here, cleared liquidity just as we've seen on Friday, and sell all the way to the downside. But right now, I'm still expecting the only thing we are looking and we are seeing the yen bank at GBP/JPY doing is price first, trading into this trend line and continue its move back to the upside. All right. So that is it. But right now, it looks more like price is currently in a place that is more of, okay, the best decision is look for opportunity to buy. But there is high tendency price trade a little bit more into this trend line that we are seeing here, which is more of this. You can see how price has been following through with this level here. So if you look at it on the 15-minute time frame, I'm expecting that price should still come a little bit more to this trend line. Then we'll pick it up again to the upside, and you know where we are heading to on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so that is it for the 15-minute time frame of GBP/JPY. Now let's quickly get to AUD/JPY to see what is happening there, and we round up with EUR/JPY. All right, for AUD/JPY on the daily time frame, we are going to see that it looks more, just as we said last week, it looks more like it's lagging compared to the other again peers. AUD/JPY is a bit lagging. So meaning we are still expecting it to long a bit to the upside. All right, for AUD/JPY, we are expecting to long a bit to the upside. However, on the 4-hour time frame, we are seeing that price coming, it has come to test liquidity here. So this is where we're expecting on Friday, since our first move has been violated. So we expect that price to trade and come and clear liquidity here. And price has done that early this morning, but it did not really take out this level. So that is a bit of concern for me. So that means we should go to our 15-minute time frame to see what exactly is happening right there. Now, the 15-minute time frame, which means price still has enough room to trade to the upside to take out this liquidity. So just wait and allow price to take out liquidity at that level. All right, allow price to take out liquidity at this level. When price takes out liquidity at that level, then we will now look out for our sell entry signature. So right now, I'm looking to short AUD/JPY when it takes out liquidity on that 4-hour. When it takes out this 4-hour liquidity, then I'm looking to short AUD/JPY. So that is the entry for today. But we must see that this liquidity point should be taken out before we see our sell signature. All right, that's that for AUD/JPY. And lastly, for EUR/JPY. Now, if you look at EUR/JPY on the daily time frame, you are going to see that it has already pushed all the way to the upside. And for the 4-hour time frame too, we are seeing momentum compared to AUD/JPY. So that is why I'm saying AUD/JPY looks more like it's lagging. All right. Now, if you see on the 4-hour time frame, where exactly do you think EUR/JPY is heading to? Now, EUR/JPY too is also coming for this liquidity point here. Let it clear liquidity here, and maybe towards the end, we are going to quickly look at the currency strength meter to see what exactly is going on with EUR/JPY, euro itself. Now, looking at what is here, so we expect that price come and take out this level, liquidity point around this place. And if it takes out liquidity point around this place, this is on 4-hour time frame. We are also seeing the shoulder at this point. Can you see this is the shoulder here? So this particular zone that you are seeing here is a sell zone for EUR/JPY. So we still expect it to push a bit to that level before we start selling to the downside. So where price is and what price is doing now, yes, it may look like, oh, the sell is about to start, but it will make a lot of sense if price, come out with take out liquidity around this level, the 4-hour time frame, just as with market. The price could take out liquidity there, then we can easily begin to follow it to the downside. All right. Now, what is the now trade for EUR/JPY? Now, for EUR/JPY, what we are still seeing is still the same thing. Price, trying to respect this high, looking more like a resistance. However, we expect it to be taken out and get liquidity on 4-hour time frame. And when we see that happen, all we'll be waiting for is the entry signature to form. And I believe that should happen into the New York session. So it may be the New York trade when we meet by 2 o'clock today, then we may look out to take that when if it's already right for us to take. And knowing fully well that today, Monday, we may not see a lot of liquidity in the markets today. All right. So just be calm until your entry signature plays out in the market. So that is all for the Euro JPY, AUD JPY, GBP JPY, the MPS generally, and also for the precious metal. If there's any question, you can easily type in the chat box and let's quickly address that. All right. Now, the news events that we just as we said earlier, that we are expecting a lot of bank rates today. You can see we are expecting a lot of bank rates today. A lot this week, rather, not today. This week on Tuesday, we have Canadian CPI. We also have the BOJ interest rate on Wednesday, rather, not tomorrow, on Wednesday. So these are a lot of news that we have today, and we should expect that they put in much more liquidity in the market. All right. For the currency strength, so we should look at what exactly is going on with euro, what exactly is really going on with the euro, and which of the currency is a bit stronger today. Now it's looking more like as at today, the euro is a bit weak, you can see, and even GPY2 is weak. So it's giving us some level of, it's being scary. And remember, we are seeing AUD GPY at liquidity point, which means AUD GPY is strong and GPY itself is a bit weak on the daily time frame. So we expect that move to clear liquidity should still happen. So we still expect the AUD GPY to still go and clear liquidity at that upside, just as we analyzed. All right. So that is it. And on the 4-hour time frame, we are seeing that the strength is gradually coming into the yen basket. You can see pushing a bit to the upside. So that is it. All right. That's it majorly. All right. Questions? Oh, thank you, Bolale. Oh, Japet, maybe you come to the you join the analysis late. We've done the analysis for the Euro USD. You can easily watch the replay on our YouTube page to get the entries. All right, so you can quickly do that immediately after the session. Now, once again, make sure you trade cautiously and use your proper risk management strategy. All right, so you meet again by 2 p.m. I'm the sharing. Cheers and God bless.